And good morning. Check in with me today, cousins. Listen, I was having a conversation with an associate, okay? And so they was just pretty much letting me know, or venting. They were venting. And so let me get to the point of what I'm going with this. They was really at the place where they like, man, I got the job, I got the promotion, I got the position, but I don't have to pay. That was the whole issue. They don't have to pay, but they got everything else, but they don't have to pay. So as I'm listening, I was like, friend, I got a question. I was like, now what I don't do, transparency, is I don't force nothing on nobody. I give you information, and if I know the answer, I give it to you. If I don't, I'm gonna let you know. Let me go find out for the both of us, right? Okay. So I'm like, friend, I got a question. I'm like, what? Are you a tither? It's like, what? A tither? Beat it. I'm like, wait, what? Hey, y'all, listen. It's a few things. It is a few things that blow my mind about people. And this is one of those things, because either you believe or you don't, right? Like, either you do or you don't. And with that, for me, what that means is, if you believe, then that means you apply principle. And no, don't get me wrong, because I do understand, like, there are lots of principles, but there are key principles that, as a believer, as a Christian, as a follower of Christ, is what I believe we all supposed to be doing, right? So I'm like, friend, is you a tither? Y'all, when I tell you, they was like, nah. Who doing all of that? Why would I even be doing all of that? That's crazy. Y'all, let me tell y'all, the conversation was so heavy. I was blown to the point I was like, you know what? Never mind. I apologize, because, like, maybe I shouldn't have asked that question. But you know what? I'm glad I asked that question, because it made me realize simply this. We, as a people, will literally perish because of a lack of knowledge. Y'all out here. So I asked, let me not jump over myself. I asked, like, okay, so do you not, like, believe in it? Is it like, because you don't have a curiosity? And I clearly made it clear that my question was out of curiosity, and not me judging, right? Because it's a very thin line. So I'm like, I'm not judging. I'm like, that's your business. It's between you and the Lord. I'm like, but like, why? Why? Can I say this out loud, y'all? Can we normalize the fact that we, and I'm going to say we, like me as a millennial, was not born in 1950. I was not born in 1950, okay? I was not born in the early hundreds, okay? I'm not talking about the 1980s, because I was born in 1986, okay? We're not there. We was not born in 1950 and before, because what happened within that conversation is that we are taking on, or that I am seeing people take on the mindset of what was rather than what is. And I'm not saying something's still not happening today. That's not what I'm saying. But you're not going to sit here and try to convince me, oh, I don't pay tithes and go to church because every time I look around, it's a preacher in the Cadillac. And I'm not going to go to church and get no tithes because I'm not about to pay nobody rent. What? And this is the stuff that was coming into the conversation, y'all. So listen, I'm blown by the whole thing, right? I'm blown by the whole thing. Because I'm like, all right, well, you know what? To teach his own. It's not for me to stress you out. I'm like, but if I can persuade you, like, you need to be a tither. Because, the Bible gives okay, it gives instruction, like, because please devour the enemy, okay? Please devour the enemy on my behalf, Jesus. Like, and not just what I see, absolutely what I don't see. So, for me, I'm like, you said you got the job, and you got the position, But you don't have, you got the promotion too, but you don't have the pay. I'm not judging. But if can y'all leave in the comments, let me know, do y'all agree or don't agree? Because like you can, for me, I cannot, I'm not going to say what you can do. I cannot get into that place of that kind of blessing on top of blessing on top of blessing and don't give God nothing back. And don't get me wrong, yes, I know we could be like, oh, I thank God, but God sees our heart. So that's why they say actions speak louder than words, because God sees the very intent of our heart. So even what you can't say sometimes, be in action. That's why people say, no, I heard what you said, but I seen what you did. I'm trying to figure this out. So with that being said, I was like, all right, cool. You know what? Let me just listen. Because obviously I am not needing to talk today. This is a venting kind of conversation. You know, just let the person talk to me. So they talking. Listening. So we get to a part of the conversation where it's like, well, let me ask you a question. What does tithing look like? You know, like how often should I do it if I decide to do it? So we're going through a couple of just, you know, scenarios. If you get an income once a month, and every increase that you get, you know, I'm like, read it for yourself, comprehend it for yourself. You know, I could tell you how I am, and I could be wrong. Not that I'm saying I'm wrong, but I'm just saying, like, you know, what God has for you to do is not necessarily what I need to do, even though we're all doing the same thing. Oh, y'all, when I tell you, I was more tickled at the complaining and the whining of the what I don't have. But there was never a level of gratitude for what is. And you know what? And I said all of that to say this. People's situation will literally cause you to self-reflect. Because, like, I'm a tither. I am a diehard tither, right? If I don't do nothing else, I'm paying my tithes. Like, if like, for real, I could have the worst kind of week, the worst kind of whatever. I didn't go to, you know, I didn't make it to all my other stuff. Baby, I'm paying them tithes. Okay? Them tithes, they got to come out. They got to come out. Because if I ain't doing nothing else, that's for me. That's for me, okay? So, as we talking, it just made me continue to self-reflect, because you know what? I don't want the Lord to bless me and then I'm like, I'm right here at the blessing, but you can't do nothing. You can't get nothing. You see it. Yeah, all of that. What that person say? That person said, I got the job, I got the promotion, I got the position, I ain't got no pay. Ha! And then, you know, y'all got this new thing going, whoop-de-doo out. Man, y'all got me so blown with that, because I'm out here like, man, whoop-de-doo. Because I can't help you understand, one, how to change your heart. You know what I'm saying? And how to change your thinking. I can't help you I can encourage you to do that, but I can't help you do that, because that is a self-choice. Those are choices that each individual have to make by themselves. But listen, y'all, I promise y'all, I ain't judge. I ain't judge my friend at all. But as they kept talking, and then let me tell y'all, I'm a numbers person, right? So if you tell me certain things, that's cool. That's between me and you. But as they were saying it, my brain started rolling, and I said to myself, I'm gonna need you to pay them tithes. I'm gonna need you to get God. I need you to get the Lord something back. Okay, I'm gonna need you to get the Lord something back, because. But anyway, yeah. Are y'all tithers? That question. Are you a tither? Let me know in a comment. Like, or do we all just, you know, like, nobody tithe anymore? Nobody give their obligations to the house of the Lord anymore? I'm concerned.